Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me for another monthly net worth update. If you're new to my channel and to these videos, I do these every single month where we go through my income, my expenses, my net worth in every single one of my accounts, look at what the changes are month over month, and then later in the video, we'll talk about some of my personal life updates. So if you're excited, feel free to give this video a like, and let's go ahead and jump right into the numbers. So last month, September 2024, my net worth was $128,142. Now, October was a pretty good month in the markets, and I had a decent amount of growth, but you'll see once I go through the accounts that the changes aren't crazy huge. The equity that I hold in the condo I own here in Calgary sits at $59,370. This is an increase from last month of $444. My RRSP, or Registered Retirement Savings Plan, this is just a regular retirement account in Canada, that sits at $59,789. That is a decent increase from last month of $861. My DCPP, or Defined Contribution Pension Plan, again, another retirement account in Canada. This is left over from a job that I had 5 or 6 years ago now, but that sits at $4,605. Kind of a minimal increase here of $66. My TFSA sits at $48, and yeah, if you haven't seen these videos before, I have one single stock in here called Cielo Waste Solutions. I basically put in 4,600 Canadian dollars into this, and now it's worth 48 Canadian dollars. So it's kind of just gone way, way, way down. And I've written it off, but I think what I'm gonna do going forward is not include my TFSA on this list because I don't feel like it's bringing any value. It obviously doesn't change my net worth very much unless that stock somehow recovers or I end up putting a bunch of money back into that account, which I don't really know when that will be, but I think I'm just gonna remove this from my net worth videos going forward. I'll include it in today's, but we're gonna remove it going forward because it's just kind of silly that it goes up $6 or $7 every month. The last item in this list is my cash account. This sits at $4,387. So this is a decrease of $1,307. And this is because I bought a vehicle. If you saw my last video, I mentioned buying a van from my coworker, which I did end up doing. Bought it for 1,500 Canadian dollars. It is a 1996 Dodge Caravan. She's kind of in rough shape. Her name is Celine. I have named her Celine, but she's been great. I've taken her out to the mountains. I had no issues, and I pretty much just bought her to be a commuter going to and from work. My work is a 6 or 7 minute drive, and it's just nice in the winter when it's really cold out to have an option to not cycle. I have been cycling the majority of the last month or so, but the weather has been really, really good. So that brings the grand total net worth for October 2024 to $128,199. This is just a slight increase from September of $57. And again, I did spend, quite a bit of money on purchasing the van and things like insurance and registration and all those kind of one-time fees, but the gains in the market covered off a lot of those expenses. So you can see my net worth is pretty much exactly the same as it was last month, which is awesome. Love to see it. And I hope to see more growth in the future as I am able to put a little bit more money into savings. November is also a 3-pay month for me, so I am expecting to put away at least one full paycheck, though I am saving up for future travels. So we'll see how much of that I can throw at retirement. I don't really know what I'm gonna do yet. I might just keep it in a cash account just in case anything happens, because yes, I have a rental property. If anything happens there, or the van, it's an older vehicle, it has a lot of kilometers on it. If there are any issues, I want to be able to pay for that out of pocket and not have to dip into any kind of retirement account. So keeping it in a cash account or a TFSA, we'll see. But let's go ahead and jump into income for the month. I made 500 Canadian dollars in rental income. That's typical every single month. I get paid $2,000 in rent for my rental property, and the cost is right around 1,500, although that is climbing up over the last few months with a lot of my fees increasing. I made 322 Canadian dollars from YouTube AdSense, and then my main job, my full-time job, I made $2,629. I also had a couple of things in October that boosted my income. One of them was that it was my birthday, middle of the month. I did end up getting some cash gifts from family members, so that was 300 Canadian dollars. And then I also got a bunch of government rebates, and that totaled $630. These were things like the carbon rebate and GST and workers' benefit. Grand total income for October was $4,381. Now moving on to expenses, my rent, same every month, it is $1,750. My insurance, this has gone up because of course now I have vehicle insurance. So I spent $222 on insurance. My electricity bill this month was $61. My phone was $37. This has gone down because the family member that I was paying for their phone, they are now in a position they can pay for it. So that has like halved my phone amount. I paid $45 for internet, $266 in groceries. This is about, $40 below my budget of $300 a month. So I'm happy to see that. I spent $529 on entertainment this month, and I did boost this category because I did get a little bit of birthday money. I wanted to go out and spend it and enjoy it. So I ate out a bit more than I normally would. There were just like birthday things that I bought for myself. I did a couple of trips to the mountains, one with a friend, one on my own. And yeah, I was just a little bit looser with this, and this is becoming a trend. If you've been watching these videos for the past like 4 or 5 months, my entertainment budget is just like kind of slowly climbing up and up and up because I've been not limiting myself on going out, spending time with friends based on like what things cost. I'm just like allowing myself to spend that money to go out and trying to be a little more conscious of like what I am ordering when I am out so that I'm not spending like a fortune, but I still want to go out and spend time with these people and build these relationships. So I'm okay that this is kind of like starting to climb up and up. I'm honestly really happy to spend that money. My miscellaneous category in October was $350. Again, this is another category that seems to keep getting like higher and higher, even though I only intended to be about $150 every month. I did have a couple of prescriptions that I had to get. I do have coverage at work, but it's only 80% coverage. So the prescriptions that I had to pay for out of pocket were around like $100. And then I had to get Goofy her cat litter. That's around $40. And I had a few things of makeup that I had to purchase, and makeup does become quite expensive when you have to buy like certain things all in the same month. So I probably spent like $50 or so on that. And then there are a few like little items here and there that added up. I spent $108 in gas or gasoline for the van. This was 2 almost full fill-ups, and I did use one of those to go to and from Kananaskis, like the mountains in the area that I live in. And then the second tank of fuel, I've only used like, I don't know, a very small fraction of that. The tank is pretty much full at this moment because I haven't driven it in like a couple of weeks now. So it's, yeah, like I do expect that second fill up to last all of November unless I end up doing like a longer road trip somewhere. My grand total expenses for October is $3,368. I did go through a lot of my expenses in October and try to cut them down. Like I said, my phone bill went down, and I went through all of my insurance and like knocked down a lot of the coverage because I felt like I just didn't need it. I just needed to go through and make sure I had the proper coverage for certain things. So I was able to save a bit of money there as well. And going through just like different budgets, because I do want to be better going forward with my budget. I know I keep saying like, oh yeah, my entertainment budget and my miscellaneous budget, like it's worth it and blah, blah, blah. But I do want to get better at that and be able to save more money because I don't know what's gonna happen in like the next year. And I wanna be able to fully support myself and not be like dipping into any kind of savings going forward. I'm not right now, like I'm still able to save every month. But if I end up losing my rental income or YouTube income and just like moving back into the place that I own, it's gonna change a few things. And my mortgage renewal coming up in a few months is going to, 100% it's going to go up and my mortgage payment will increase. So I'm just trying to like step it back a bit and get my budget a little more under control so that it's not such a shock when my wiggle room is like a lot smaller than it is right now. So now let's go ahead and move into some life updates. We've already kind of mentioned this, but I bought the van. I bought the Dodge Caravan. Celine, she's amazing. And yeah, she needs a bit of work, and I probably will have to sink like a few $100s into it to make it function like fully the way I want it to. But I mean, it runs, it's perfect for running errands, getting like a big grocery shop when I need to do that. I do live within like a 10-minute walk of a grocery store. I can walk to work if I need to. I also have a bicycle, and Calgary is not the worst city for not having a vehicle if you're just going like to and from work and you work close to where you live. If you want to go like outside of the city or go to like a really specific area that's not in the downtown area, that can take a long time if you don't have a car. But yeah, if you're just like downtown, you can walk to groceries, you can walk to like doctor's offices and like all the things that you need, dentists, all that. They're all within walking distance, which is really fantastic. But it is nice to have a vehicle for going to places like the mountains. And I am hoping the van lasts me like a year, maybe a year and a half. I don't really know like what'll happen once it does crap out and once it's, you know, lived its life. I don't know if I'm going to try to fix it or just get rid of it and then go no car again, or maybe try and get like a nicer vehicle. Honestly, the next like few years of my life, I don't really know what they look like. I have an idea in my head, but I don't know where I'm gonna be. I don't know if I'm even gonna be living in Calgary. So we'll see what happens. Like, I'm kind of open to possibilities right now, and I don't want to lock myself in to any specific area. Of course, I want to be able to bring Goofy, my cat, with me wherever I end up going, but I want to be a little bit more flexible. Like, I do have my dream job right now, which we'll talk about, and I don't want to leave it, but you never know. Like, circumstances can change, and yeah, we'll see what happens there. I wanted to talk about burnout because work for me has been like incredibly busy lately, and it's been really great, but I just feel like I'm going from work to home to like bed, and then all week long I don't really do anything during the week because I'm so exhausted from working like 9 to 10 hour days. And then when the weekends come around, I've been packing like my social calendar pretty full. So I'm just getting to that point where I'm feeling really, really burnt out. And this is leading me to taking an even like further step back from YouTube. As you guys know and have probably noticed, I would typically post every week, like every Sunday. And lately it's been like every 2 weeks and sometimes a little bit longer than that, just because it's not been my first priority. My first priority is work, and then my second priority is socializing. And it doesn't really leave a lot of wiggle room for doing YouTube because I live on my own. Like, I do everything on my own. I don't have another person here helping with like chores or like cooking, cleaning, any of that. And it's kind of wild to me how much time all of that takes when you're on your own and you're doing absolutely everything. Like, you're doing all the grocery shopping, all the meal planning, all the laundry. You're just like constantly doing something. There's always some task that needs to be done. So I do apologize for this. Like, I really do want to step up my YouTube game. I want to get back out there and make content, especially in Calgary. I want to make so much content in Calgary and try to get more people to move here because I think it's an amazing city. It's growing and it's becoming really, really vibrant. There's so many areas that surround Calgary, like Banff. I mean, that's one of the most famous places in Canada, if not the world. And I just want to show off Alberta and the place I live. So I hope that I get to do that really soon. I think the mountains are way more beautiful in the winter anyway, but it's just been like me feeling like I'm constantly trying to catch up on things. And then I feel like I just don't have enough time or energy left over to do the YouTube thing, to make the videos and edit them. And it's just becoming a little bit more difficult for me to manage it. And yeah, so stay tuned. I'm gonna continue to make videos, just not as frequently, but I'm hoping to pick that up again really, really soon. I really love all of you guys. I think we've built such a great community, and I know a lot of you have found me through the New Zealand content, and I hope that you're excited that I will eventually be returning there to explore a bit more, and it might be like a year or two away, but I just hope that you guys are here and are still enjoying the content, even if it's not super like travel focused at this point. So in talking about all of this and talking about like travel and work and burnout, I do genuinely love my job. Like, this is my dream job. I feel so lucky to be able to even do it, to get up in the morning. Like, I get to go to work. I get to do this job. I get to work with these incredible people. It is a privilege, 100% it is a privilege. The work is not easy, it is tough and it is challenging. And I think that's part of why I love it so much, but it's just such an amazing environment. Like, I honestly want to do this as long as I possibly can. I get like sad when I don't get to go to work. Like, if there's a day that we have off because we don't have enough stuff to do, I get kind of like bummed out that I don't get to go into work. I just feel totally fulfilled with work. I go to work, I do my job, I come home. I don't take home any kind of like negative energy. There isn't really anybody that I work with that I don't absolutely love. Like, it's just the dream scenario. And yeah, that can change if certain people leave or certain people start that aren't great. But for now, I don't really want to leave this job, even though I want to explore different parts of the world and maybe live somewhere else. I'm just like loving where I am right now. I've kind of lost the travel bug a little bit. I don't have any desire to get on a plane and go see another country just yet. But that's not to say that I'm not planning for upcoming travels. Like, we have talked about Scotland and England going at the end of next year with a friend of mine. And although I am super excited for that, it is a little daunting just thinking about looking up the flights and like researching the area and all of this. And it just doesn't get me as excited as it used to. I just feel still very tired from traveling nonstop for like a year. I just want to chill out and like enjoy the city I live in right now, but also look towards the future. So Scotland is still, you know, on the list for me of an area that I would potentially want to move to for like a year or two. And I have to like look into this further because I haven't since I last mentioned this, but I have to make sure that Goofy can come with me. I know it's not as strict as New Zealand is. I think I like very briefly looked at it and it said, you know, they need like certain shots and like rabies and whatever vaccinations. But other than that, I think I could probably bring her and it wouldn't be too bad of like a flight. I think Scotland from here would be like maybe 8 or 9 hours or something like that. So not terrible, but it is still on my mind going to Scotland definitely next year to at least travel and check it out and see if it's a country that I might want to live in. I have been to the UK and Ireland before. I want to take advantage of the fact that I'm under 35 still. And if I want to do like another working holiday in another country, Scotland is at the very top of my list. Yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. I don't want to make any promises about what kind of content will be coming out of this channel in the next like 6 months, but just know that I'm going to be here and I'm still going to be like wanting to make content and trying to bring you guys parts of my life that I really love and really enjoy. I'm also getting like super excited for winter. It has snowed a couple times in the last month. It hasn't really like stuck, but I'm just like super excited for the winter season, for it to be like all snowy, for Christmas, for the cozy like staying inside and it getting like dark really early. I'm just like really excited for that. It's been a while since I've had a full-on Canadian winter. I think a couple years now. So I'm so excited for it. I just can't wait to get all cozy and like watch movies and be at home inside. Just, it's the best. It's one of the best things about living here. And I know that I've mentioned moving to Canada, like one of the downsides is the winter, but like, I love it. I kind of love it. I just hate that it lasts like 6 months sometimes, but other than that, I absolutely love it. So that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. Thank you so much for watching and for joining me, and I'll see you guys really soon in the next one. Bye.